A creamy, sweet and delicious no-bake cheesecake topped with berries. So simple and easy to make. Start with making the biscuit base. It couldn't be simpler or easier. Only 2 ingredients. A packet of biscuits and melted butter. I'm using digestive biscuits here. Graham crackers are basically the same thing, but you can use any type of biscuit you would like. Place the biscuits into a food processor and process them until you have crumbs. Alternatively, if you don't have one, you can place them into a large bag and use a heavy object like a rolling pin or a fry pan to crumble them up. If you would like the full recipe for this berry cheesecake, it will be on my website, as well as the full measurements listed in the information box below. Once your biscuits resemble fine crumbs, pour them into a small bowl and pour over the cooled melted butter. Use a wooden spoon to mix the biscuits and butter together until they are well combined. Pour the biscuit crumbs into a lined cake tin. This makes it so much easier to remove later. And use a spoon to compact the crumbs down. It doesn't have to be perfect. I always find cheesecakes look better rustic, and place it into the fridge to set. Cheesecakes are one of my favourite desserts. There are so many different flavours to make. If you think like me, make sure to subscribe to my channel and watch my other cheesecake recipes. Once the cheesecake base is in the fridge setting, we can start to make the filling. Pour cold cream into a large mixing bowl and using a whisk, beat it until it starts to form soft peaks. Whisking by hand should only take 3 to 4 minutes, but you can use a hand mixer if you would prefer. Using it straight out of the fridge makes it so much easier to whip than at room temperature. Make sure to use cream for whipping. It should be around 30%. It may be called double cream, whipping cream, or heavy cream. When the cream starts to hold shape, stop whisking and set it to the side to be used a bit later. In a larger clean bowl, add the room temperature cream cheese and measure out 2/3 of a cup of icing sugar or powdered sugar for some sweetness. They are both the same thing, just different names. Using a whisk or a wooden spoon, beat the cream cheese and sugar together until there are no longer any lumps and they are well combined. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite dessert is and what sweet recipe you would like to see here on my channel next. If you're a fan of waffles for breakfast or dessert, make sure to be subscribed as they'll be coming up soon. The berry flavour is in the topping of the cheesecake, so to flavour the filling I'm using the zest and juice from a medium-sized lemon. Make sure to choose a lemon with a very bright yellow shade, and using a handheld microplane, zest the skin. You just want the yellow, make sure not to get any of the white underneath, as this is what makes the zest have a bitter flavour. Use a knife to cut the lemon in half and squeeze the juice from each side over the mixing bowl, catching the pips with your hand. Use the whisk to mix the zest and juice until well combined. This next step depends on how you want to serve your cheesecake, from the fridge or partially frozen. Cheesecakes that aren't baked are usually set using gelatin, whereas baked cheesecakes contain eggs. Frozen cheesecake, on the other hand, can be set by just being frozen. All of these methods allow you to cut into the cheesecake while it still holds its shape. If you're going to freeze your cheesecake to set, you can skip this next step, or if you are serving it from the fridge, you can use gelatin or agar-agar. I'm using powdered gelatin and dissolving it in a few tablespoons of boiling water. Pour the gelatin into the cheesecake filling and use a whisk to combine. Lastly, add the whipped cream and fold the cheesecake filling together until everything is perfectly combined. Pull the cheesecake base out of the fridge and top with the filling. Use an offset spatula to smooth out the filling. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, just make sure it's pretty even. Place the cheesecake back into the fridge to set for a few hours before making the topping. Lastly, for the berry topping. There are a few different things you can do here. I'm taking the easy way because it's so simple and delicious, but you can also do it from scratch. Using a can of your favourite type of berries and syrup, pour it into a blender and blend until smooth. The can of berries already contains sugar, so there is nothing more you need to do. If you would prefer to use fresh or frozen berries, you will also need to make a quick simple syrup, which is equal parts water and sugar, which is simmered in a saucepan until the sugar dissolves. Strain the berries through a sieve to remove any of the pips. They're not too much fun to bite into in this cheesecake. You can pour this straight onto the cheesecake if you are going to freeze it to set, or else you need to use gelatin or agar-agar like with the filling. Dissolve the gelatin in a few tablespoons of boiling water and mix into the berry mixture. Pour over the cheesecake and place in the fridge to set for at least 4 hours or overnight. If you're freezing your cheesecake, remove it from the freezer about 20 to 30 minutes before you're going to serve. Top high with berries, serve with whipped cream, or it's perfect just on its own. I hope you enjoyed this cheesecake recipe. Make sure to take a look at my other cheesecake recipes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.